Hello and welcome to the Story Shed, and today I'm going to be reading 3 short poems by a gentleman called AA Milne, who created the stories of Winnie the Pooh in the 100-Acre Wood. And I have only read little bits of Winnie the Pooh and seen some of the films that have been made and animations, but I do have a favourite Winnie the Pooh character. Now, maybe you can guess who it is. Is it Winnie the Pooh himself? Is it Piglet? Is it Kanga or Roo? Is it Tigger or Eeyore or Rabbit or Owl? Have a think for a minute. Have a think and see what you come up with. Look at me and think about which you think is the character that I would like the most. Take your time. Okay. If you'd been sharp-eyed enough to notice, there's a gentleman sitting over here who is Piglet. It's Piglet. It's Piglet all the time. That's who I like the most out of the Winnie the Pooh stories. And I'll let him rest a bit longer because it was a long old journey from the 100-Acre Wood. I'm going to start with this poem, which is called Now We Are Six. When I was 1, I had just begun. When I was 2, I was nearly new. When I was 3, I was hardly me. When I was 4, I was not much more. When I was 5, I was just alive. But now I am 6, I'm as clever as clever. So I think I'll be 6 now forever and ever. And that's a poem called Now We Are Six. And the next poem that I like from AA Milne is Wind on the Hill. No one can tell me, nobody knows where the wind comes from, where the wind goes. It's flying from somewhere as fast as it can. I couldn't keep up with it, not if I ran. But if I stopped holding the string of my kite, it would blow with the wind for a day and a night. And then when I found it, wherever it blew, I should know that the wind had been going there too. So then I could tell them where the wind goes, but where the wind comes from, nobody knows. And the third poem is called If I Were King, again by AA Milne. I often wish I were a king, and then I could do anything. If only I were king of Spain, I'd take my hat off in the rain. If only I were king of France, I wouldn't brush my hair for aunts. I think if I were king of Greece, I'd push things off the mantelpiece. If I were king of Norway, I'd ask an elephant to stay. If I were king of Babylon, I'd leave my button gloves undone. If I were king of Timbuktu, I'd think of lovely things to do. If I were king of anything, I'd tell the soldiers, I'm the king. So that's 3 poems by AA Milne. And I'm wondering, perhaps you could take the ideas of those poems and write a story or a poem of your own. Maybe you could write a story about how you think you'll be when you're a certain age. What would it be like to be 100 years old, or 150, or 1,000 years old? Or being 4 again? Maybe you could write a story about the weather, whatever the weather's like where you are. Or maybe what happens when the weather changes, or the different kinds of weather, or the different seasons. Maybe you could write a story about what rules and laws you would put in place if you were king or queen or prime minister or president of a country. And you can send them to me, if you want to, at the storyshed@gmail.com. That's the storyshed@gmail.com, and I look forward to either hearing your stories or your poems or seeing your drawings. And in the meantime, everyone take care. Bye bye. Bye Piglet. Bye bye. Bye now. Bye.